It is us again. We are having another challenge, but it is, of course, all about Leviathan. 10th edition is around the corner. We have the Leviathan box. Are you ready?
No, I'm not going to finish it.
12 hours. It's the 10 till 10 challenge. The 10th challenge. 10-10 challenge. Let's go.
Can you paint Leviathan in 12 hours?
Yes.
No.
Maybe. Who
Not
knows?
if you're painting the tier. Not if you're painting the Tyranid half.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a lot up your... No, that's not what I meant. You've got a lot on. There's a lot to paint.
I think, how many nids is it? I think it's 46.
It's too many. It's too many bugs. So, yeah, if you hadn't guessed already, Kieran is going to be painting the Tyranid half of the Leviathan box, and I'm going to be painting the Space Marine half of the Leviathan box, because that is the other team in the Leviathan box.
Yeah.
What scheme are you going, sir?
I'm going with a small custom scheme, actually.
Love that. Tell the people at home.
I'm borrowing some elements from Fletch over at Telltale Tactics, because his skin recipe for nids is brilliant.
Yeah, the guy's the goat. He is the goat.
So I'm going to steal his skin recipe, and then I'm going to change. I'm going to do a custom skin on the carapace. I really like High Fleet Behemoth.
The blue one, right?
The blue and the orange one. So I'm going to either.
Nice.
I still haven't decided which one I'm going with. So I'm either going to go with a black and orange carapace or black and blue.
Oh no, the sun's come out. No!
If you see us really bright, it's because the UK is on fire at the moment.
Yeah.
Well, no, it's not like Canada, but...
Ugh, bad vibes. Sorry,
Yeah.
Canada. Blame Canada. Yeah, no, it's very, very hot. It's like 30 degrees, and it's not painting weather, so we decided we'd paint for 12 hours.
Yeah, and because of the way...
Good for us.
We usually do this in my office, but sitting in there for 12 hours while it's 30 degrees was just not going to... It was...
Bad vibe.
That's why we do our challenges out here.
Yeah, let's pray that the sun goes away at some point during the day and we can get some form of respite. A cool breeze would be wonderful. But yeah,
Right, we're 7 minutes late. I have to get started.
let's go! Okay, so this is our first update. It is currently 12 p.m, midday. How are you feeling, sir?
Rubbish.
Utter rubbish. I don't.
I was gonna say
I'm alright.
You've made really good progress. I've ran in, so I think it's about 25 degrees here in the UK today.
Yeah, it's
so
pretty warm.
the airbrush has been a chore.
Cloggy.
I think it's a mixture of it's drying really quick, and also Rakarth flesh does not go well through.
Kind of chalky, isn't it?
It's chalky, so it's more susceptible.
Yeah.
So at the moment, I've done all. This is the base coat, so it's taking 2 hours to base coat with an airbrush. It's supposed to be quick. You can kind of just because
It's too bright.
It's too bright here. Yeah, I've got some off-brown nids. I've now got
off-brown nids. They look good though. I think it's nice.
No, they don't. Don't humour me.
Okay, so everything's the same colour at the moment, which is although it's a pain, everything's progressing at the same rate. So whereas
it's all going slowly.
Well, I suppose, but I'm doing everything bit by bit rather than everything all in one. So I think you might find that you'll level out.
Or just go insane.
Both. Let's
All
go
of
with
the
both. So these are my Ebon Keshig Terminators when it finally decides to thingy. There you go, looking pretty good so far. I'm going to get to a point with these 5, I think, where I'm really happy, then put some transfers on them. And then...
transfers might be a bit of a time sink for you, actually.
Yeah, it's going to be a faff, and I think I've got loads of them as well, so I think it's the choice with these guys. But yeah, it should be really fun. I started on the Terminator Captain, so like he's also going to be like an Ebon Keshig Terminator Captain. But when I started it, I realised how much detail was on it, so I think I might save the characters till last. Sort of do what we did with the Necron challenge. I feel like if I save the more elite stuff.
Well, you're going down the streak and grime route, so you might want to do the batches. I'm not going streak and grime with the nids.
Yeah, I'm going to do, because the problem is, it's like transfers. You need to leave them on with the microsol or microset, for at least 20 minutes. Maybe a little bit less now because it's really hot. Then you have to do microsol for like a little bit, and then just sort of like smooth them out. But then I think yeah, you're right, Streak and Grime is going to be the killer. So I think with transfers and Streak and Grime, I need to have like a decent system going.
Yeah.
I think I will have that, but yeah, I think generally speaking, feeling sort of confident.
I'm not at all, because as mentioned, they don't look any different.
No.
They're just... I started off with the Wraithbone Primer, and that's just a coat of Rakarth flesh aimed at the skin. I've still got to do Bugman's Glow in the shadows. I'm hoping that's... It's not as chalky as Rakarth flesh, so hopefully I might make up some time. But famous last words.
Famous last words indeed.
I do enjoy airbrushing, but I'm looking forward to putting it away because it's
a faff.
I think it's I thought I would get the Rakarth flesh base coat and Bugman's Glow in the shadows in an hour to an hour and a half, and it's taken me 2 hours. And 2 hours, which includes a base coat and I had to give the airbrush a deep clean just because it's just so cloggy.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I've tried all the tricks in the book. I've gone with really thin paint. I've gone with like greasing the needle with like thinner before flow improver to stop it drying. I think it's just one of those days today.
One of those days. But yeah, so after this update, we'll probably have another update in another couple of hours, because I prefer the 2 hourly updates to the hourly updates. I feel like we've got more to talk about.
Well, unless there's anything groundbreaking, which for me I think there won't be.
No. But yeah, I guess we'll catch you in a bit.
Bye.
See ya. So you join me. It's currently 2 3/4 hours into the challenge. I'm on my 5th and final Terminator. I think so far, like, I've really been liking the process that I've been following with them, I suppose. So started off with the shoulder pads, then worked on all the metallics, and then finished off with the red. I think it's a really strong look, especially considering I wasn't too keen privately on the helmets before. So I've taken them from like Blade Guard and some like Templar bits, which are pretty sweet, but they definitely sort of embody that Ebon Keshig look. So obviously you'll join me on the metallics phase at the moment. I haven't got any red on there as of yet. I tend to use Lead Belcher for just about everything, so I'm obviously just going to continue with that streak. But yeah, no, feeling quietly confident. Not so much can be said for Kieran and his knits, but it's it's a nice one. I think painting black is such a strange colour to get right. I know that a lot of people tend to highlight with like blues and all sorts of other things. I keep it very, very simple. So after I've done absolutely everything, so like transfers and maybe just before the streak and grime step, I'll do a really light brush, like dry brush of either like a off-white or a really light grey. So it'll pick up all of, like the edge highlights on like the armor paneling, and maybe like catch some of the red bits as well that will have the armor casing. It totally beats highlights, and it's just it's loads simpler. Obviously you'll see in the pictures maybe towards the end of the video, but yeah, no, it's definitely the better way to do it. But yeah, join us next time on our next update.
So, here's my first mid update. I've not long finished the base colours and the shadows on these. As you can kind of see, got some warmth in them with the Bugman's Glow, just sprayed from the bottom on top of that Rakarth flesh. And then I'm knee deep in shading. So for this, I'm just getting a 50-50 mix of Carabao Crimson with water, just to help it flow that little bit better. And why aren't you focusing? There we go. Just spreading this all over the skin. I won't go into too much detail about the skin because the flesh scheme is not mine. If you want to see more about that, go check out Fletcher's incredible work. Yeah, I'm sure we'll be back with another update soon. I think I'm going to be shading forever.
Why don't you do them in stages?
Because the shade's going to take the longest to dry.
So you might as well do them all in one go.
So I might as well try and get everything done, just so that This is in fairness, this is the only thing I think in the scheme I've got to wait to dry.
Oh, okay.
Everything.
Like the rest of it quite simple.
Yeah, the rest of it shouldn't be too bad. Still haven't decided on a carapace colour.
Oh no.
I think I'm leaning more towards the red one.
Sure.
But we'll see how pink the skin turns out, because obviously there'll be some skin highlights and stuff on top of these.
But this is like the main slog, I suppose.
Yeah.
With your stages.
Yeah. Yeah. You can kind of see it because it's got that mixture of water in. It does flow quite nicely into the recesses. It was a bit strong there. Just gonna wick some of that way actually. I'm now going to go do this across 20 Termagaunts, 10 Duragaunts, Barbara's Gaunts, Mr. Man's Leapers, and everything else. So I think this is going to take a little while.
Good grief.
Catch you in a bit. It's time, is it?
It's 3:15. We've had this is our post-lunch update. We have made
Minimal progress.
Yeah, this challenge is really, really hard. Very hard.
Yes.
I think so. Just to set the example, so this is my Evan Kashi Terminator guy. I'm really, really chuffed with these actually. I think they look very, very smart considering I wasn't totally gassed with them going in, but yeah, we'll do photos of this, it'll be better. How are your Terminators, not Terminators, Tyranids going?
Oh, they're still not dry!
Oh dear.
So everything is base coated. It's had shadows put on the bottom. And they've had a wash.
Good. Dirty boys.
They took ages to wash because of the sheer amount of them. There's a slightly sunburnt Termagaunt thing.
What's your game plan next then? If everything has had its colour on,
it's to just die.
Die. Good. Goodness.
No, I don't know whether to I don't know whether to now split up and do units similar to how you've been doing.
Yeah, do units because I feel like you can see the progress then. So for example, next I've got my stern guard. So they're all ready to go, ready to rock and roll. I think I'm going to paint those up next. I also think, it'll be a bit simpler. I'm not sure if I'm going to do my streak and grime and classic like finish weathering because I'm conscious of time now and I really want to crack all these out. Like I spent probably an hour doing transfers.
Crimea River. I spent 2 hours doing a base coat.
Get mad. Yeah, so I might keep the streak and grime to a minimum. So long as I can get the transfers on, that's all I'm really worried about.
Yeah, I think I might block some black in on the carapace just to start seeing what stuff's going to look like.
I think you should absolutely start doing some units though, split them up a bit.
Yeah, I might. The trouble is there's a lot of Termagaunts.
Yes.
Like a lot of Termagaunts.
So how many gaunts are there in general? Is it 30 or 32?
There's 20, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, 20 termagants. What about the other guns?
I think this is 11. Well, the 10 plus the in charge one. Unless there's 12, then I haven't built one. Which could be quite funny.
There's loads, isn't there? There's loads. Okay, are you going to do the gaunts next then? Get some of the chaff out of the way.
Yeah, although I just realised I've done a really bad job of maintaining the pooling on some of these.
Oh dear.
So.
Are you going back over the flesh or not?
Yeah. So I'll go back over. Don't mount during the shot. I'll go back over it with some really thin Rakarth flesh, and then do some highlights of ivory.
Sweet.
To bring back some of the white in the
skin. Are you doing it with the airbrush or?
No, I was going to do that brush.
Or like dry brush it?
I might dry brush it or I might layer it. Because this
dry brushing would be quicker.
Yeah. But given how small like the gaunts are, it might not be too bad.
Okay.
Obviously the Screamer Killer, it's going to be a bad time trying to layer all that skin up.
That thing is massive. He's a big old chonk. Speaking of chonks, I'm choosing not to look at my dreadnought.
I was going to say, you're quite scared about the dreadnought, aren't you?
Just going to ignore it.
You can't ignore it, that's not how the challenge works.
I'll get to it.
So we're about, would you say we're about the halfway point? Yeah, we've been going for...
Yeah, that's really embarrassing actually.
This is the halfway point and I've got a shade. Oh no!
Oh, right, okay, well, we should cut this right now. Stop this.
Hang on. Let's make a prediction of what you think you'll have finished come 10 o'clock tonight.
Come 10 o'clock tonight, I think we'll have 5 Terminators done, first 5 Stern Guard done, 10 Flame Boys done, and 2 characters?
That's basically everything.
But it isn't everything, and that annoys me. So I feel like I started off so positively, and now I'm like...
You rocked up. You came when you arrived this
I was like,
morning.
I'll have everything done by 4! That's in an hour and a half's time. What a tit. But yeah, catch us in a bit, because we have some stuff to do.
So this is our actual halfway update, because apparently we can't count.
Yeah, it was a cross between us not being able to count and us lying to you.
This is halfway.
Let's keep it spicy. This is halfway.
We have 6 hours left.
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Everything's feeling pretty good.
No, it's not.
It's alright.
It is for you. So I have all of the NIDs shaded,
Yeah.
and I've base coated the black carapace on 10 gaunts and a winged prime.
And you're smashing it.
No,
You're
and
smashing it.
I have 6 hours left to highlight all of the flesh, do the fancy carapace design
Yeah.
on those, and still block in and do everything else on all of the other ones, which includes 10 Neuro Gaunts, 10 normal Gaunts, Neuro Tyrant, Barbarous Gaunts, Jumpy Boys, and Screamer Man. It's a bad time if you're painting the Tyranids.
Okay, that's pretty bad. Yeah.
Whereas you're like, oh, I've nearly finished.
No, I'm definitely not like that at all. My Stern Guard have got all the metallics set up on them, so they're feeling pretty good. Whilst I'm waiting, I'm putting the basing stuff on my Terminators, so at least they're based and done. They've had their streak and grind bath. They're looking pretty dirty. But yeah, no, it should be okay. I think what I'm hoping to do is 5 Terminators, 5 Stern Guard, and at least 10 of the Flamer dudes, and then I'm like kind of happy.
How's the Dreadnought feeling?
I'm choosing to forget about it. Can I forget about it? Said it last time. Keeping with it, forgetting about it. Yeah, no, I think the characters and stuff I might probably enjoy more with a small amount of time rather than rushing a big thing, I guess.
I've been trying to... So I did the 10 gaunts. I was like, I'm going to reward myself with a character. So
Yeah.
I did the Wings Prime. So I might...
Absolutely right.
I might...
It's hard, isn't it?
I don't know whether to do another 10 gaunts, which sounds horrendous, and then do the Screamer Killer.
Why don't you do the Leapers? They're cool.
They got a lot of black on them, though.
What about the 10 tiny gaunt, the ugly looking ones?
No, I don't like those. That's just...
Do the Ripper Swarms, they're easy. They're like your Scarab equivalent, aren't they?
I could do the Rippers, but there's only 2 of them.
Oh, do you only get 2? Oh.
Yep.
Wait.
Get 1 per 10...
Yeah, they are cool though. So I mean, yeah, do what you want, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm really struggling from
Motivation.
confidence and motivation.
We'll be fine. Our next update will just include Kieran being really, really upbeat and jazzed and absolutely in no way depressed.
Spoiler alert, it won't be.
Goodness sake.
We need to try. I don't think we have time for dinner.
The Kieran Show, we are all about positivity and hobby encouragement, because that's what it's about.
I encourage you to not try and paint the whole Leviathan box in
in a day.
with a friend.
Yeah, ludicrous. People are stupid. People being us. If you're choosing to do this in a day, you're an absolute crazy person. It's totally unachievable. We should have known this before. We didn't. For the next however minutes long this video is, it's just going to be pure lunacy and insanity. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that we're really up against it, because normally we watch like a few films, we watched like when we did Netcons, it was like Step Brothers and like Toy Story. Whereas this time we watched a bit of Pokemon and I was like, no, I have too much painting to do to focus on the TV.
We can't focus on anything.
Oh, we did try Digimon. Didn't age well.
Yeah, I remember Digimon being really good, and it was not. It just was not.
It was not a good time.
No, but either way, we should probably get to it because we have the entire army to go.
In 6 hours. So, I am sick to death of painting Tyranids. I've been going for just under.
Well, we have 3.5 hours left, so you've been doing it for 8.5 hours.
I've been painting for 8.5 hours. I have everything shaded, everything with the skin base tone, and I still haven't painted all of the carapace. I still have 18 miniatures to base coat the carapace. So I've still got 5 of Barbara's gaunts, 3 lictors to paint. Lictors, von Ryan's leapers, things.
10
And
hobbits.
10 of these, which are too small to focus on
Diddly
because they're so
hobbly hobbits.
stupid. Last miniature I painted was I base coated everything on the
Screamer Killer.
all the black on the Screamer Killer.
Yeah.
All of the 20 termagants are black on their carapace. That's a term, I think I'm going delusional. And the Neurotyrant as well.
I'll be totally honest, the way that you've painted Tyranids has made me not want to paint Tyranids.
The way I've painted Tyranids has made me not want to paint Tyranids.
Okay, so just as like a bit of a contrast, so my Terminators are like all but done, so I just need to finish off the bases on these guys and then just do the little round robin on the base, you know, the black rim on the base. Now that only going slightly insane. So these characters are ready for some detail, but I don't know how close I'm gonna. Central, nailed it. I'm not sure how close I'm gonna get with these. I might do it a little bit later on because at the moment I'm just finishing up the Stern Guard veterans.
The Stern Guard are looking really good.
Yeah, I really like these so far. I just want to finish them and then see where I'm at, and then I'll pick my battles. We were just having an argument a second. Well, it's not an argument.
Argument.
About the Pyroblasters. So my warrior was doing another round of like red trim on 10 Marines, and then I said, "Oh, hang on. Do White Scars have white, or do they have red trim on their shoulder pads?" And turns out they don't,
No.
which is a dream for me.
Yeah, you haven't got to paint 20 more lines. Of
No,
red.
it does mean that it'll make it incredibly quick. So I might be able to crack that right out.
That dreadnought is still looming over you very.
No, I don't want to look at it. So
Well, I don't know. I think we're at the point where I think I'm definitely not finishing. 100%. I don't think I'll even be close.
I reckon if I can do the 5 Stern
just-
Guard,
just-
the 10 Pyroblasters,
just stop.
and 1 character, I'll be happy.
You're delusional. You were like, I'm gonna have all of this done by 4 o'clock. It's nearly 7.
I'm ignoring the characters and the dreadnought. I can do the rest. Watch me.
You can't just go, I'm ignoring these. I finished.
Well, no, I'm not finishing, but I want to be in a decent position. And plus, the characters are really fun to like spend time and paint. Because as soon as I started,
Time is something we don't have.
as soon as I started this boy, like he's super chunky and super cool. I was like, oh, it's a shame I don't have loads of time to do him.
Do you know what's even funnier
Might
as
just
well?
wait.
Is compared to the normal Leviathan box, as you'll have noticed, we are 1 miniature down from each side of the box.
Yeah, I've already painted those.
So I'm going to say you've already done the Librarian A as a test scheme and also for the Instagrammables.
For the Warhams, peoples.
And you also painted the Psychophage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't have a Psychophage to paint, which I'm really glad at because that's got a lot of detail.
You can enjoy that later, can't you? When you paint up your one in the future.
I'm never touching Tyranids again.
That's so weird, isn't it? Like when you really put a challenge in place, and you actually like sort of hate it.
I mean, I don't hate it. I
Well,
think I'm hating the process because it's so...
We were saying a second ago, like the combat patrol challenge that we want to do in the future, where we both pick out like a random combat patrol out of a hat, we paint it like in a day, and then we play a game with it. Like that's going to be really fun.
It is,
But-
depending on what army you draw.
Yeah, like somebody's going to have like a blast, like have a really good time
So
building, painting it.
whichever one of us draws the custards is just gonna be like, this is a dream, and
It's
then
like 1, 2, 3 models done,
and then whoever draws Imperial Guard is like, I hate my life.
Oh, I can't honestly.
Or Orcs, because that's a big one.
Orcs is a big one, and it will take a while, but I think I could paint Orcs quite quickly, so I'm not really that worried. But yeah, I'll be honest. Necrons, not Necrons. Sorry, Imperial Guard would suck.
Tyranids would suck.
Just a ray of positivity.
Yeah, so it's quite funny because I know everybody on the YouTubes likes it when the you don't complete your challenges. I think it makes for better viewing.
We've done 2 so far, and we've smashed both of those.
Well, to be fair, we didn't completely finish on the Necrons.
I think we're very, very close.
We were incredibly close. I think if we had another hour on the Necrons, we would have finished them. Whereas I think another hour isn't going to make any difference.
No way. But that being said, we've still got 3.5 hours left.
We've nearly finished Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, great movie. It's a good time. But yeah, so
we also need to factor in some dinner at some point.
I'm trying not to think about it. I'll be totally honest.
Why?
Because I've got this to do. This is my food. But yeah,
can't eat Space Marines.
Catch us in a little bit. And I would have painted loads more.
No, we won't.
I would have. We have 1 hour and 10 minutes remaining.
I have accomplished nothing.
If you were to sum this challenge up in one word, what would it be?
A disaster.
That's 2 words, but I'll take disaster.
How would you?
Or A, your choice.
Disaster. What's yours?
Dumb. It's just so. Sorry, excuse me. Dumb. This is very dumb. We'll bleep that out. Yeah, it was silly. Very, very silly of us to think that we could tackle this box in a day. It's too much stuff.
Up until about 5 minutes ago, finished base coating the black.
Goodness.
That might be the most demoralised. So in the space of 11 hours, I have accomplished.
Oh, go on.
I don't mind. I won't bother showing you because there's nothing to show.
Yeah.
So in the space of 11 hours, I've accomplished a base coat, a shadow, a shade, and then another base coat.
Nice.
In total today, I have painted 3 different colours.
In 12 hours, that's rough.
Don't like Tyranids anymore.
So, I'm just going to remove this Dreadnought because I haven't actually done anything with him yet, and I probably won't either. I've done this. Nope.
You haven't done that.
I've done this. These 5 Terminators are done. These 5 Stern Guard will be done in the next hour. They will be finished. That's all great. That is great. I still have 3 characters, a Dreadnought, and 10 Flame Boys. No way. No way.
Oh.
In the essence of the challenge, I might crack out the last 10 Flame Boys.
You won't do those in an hour.
Oh no, the dry brushing at least. So that the colour is on.
Well, yeah, but then you've still got a giant brown Dreadnought.
Don't want the Dreadnought.
Do you know what's even funnier? So, for example, obviously we've got double the effort because there's 2 of us. I think you can chalk this up to 24 hours of effort across 2 people because obviously 2 persons at 12 hours. That's even worse because in the space of 24 hours of work time, we have base coated some Tyranids and completed 5 Terminators. So please don't try and paint Leviathan in a day.
Don't do it. It's dumb. It's so dumb.
It's impossible. So
yeah, impossible is probably the right word.
This is the fruits of my labour.
It's very sad, isn't it? It's all very
Some
upsetting.
sunburnt Von Ryan's Leapers and a sunburnt Screamer Killer with black pincers and some sunburnt and black Squirtle things.
Squirtle.
Squirtle.
So I've got an hour and 5 minutes left. I might just have a nap because I'm not going to get anything done.
Alright, this is
the
the last transfer I'm doing today. He looks wonderful.
Yeah, the Aura Heresy White Scars transfers worked really well.
Yeah, they're very cool. I'm really glad I went with Heresy helmets and Heresy transfers because I feel like the Primaris White Scar stuff just doesn't cut it for me. I don't think. I've taken loads of pictures so far today. There'll have been loads. There'll have been lovely slow mo footage. We didn't bother with
So obviously in the last challenge we had like fancy shots of us doing each individual colour. There was pointless doing that for me because it was like, pointless. This is how you base coat black for 9 hours.
God, so upsetting.
So to chalk up how long things have taken me today, it took 2 hours to airbrush Rakoth flesh on everything. I think I lost at least 45 minutes due to humidity, whatever. Rakoth flesh just not going great through an airbrush. Before anybody says I'll do this, I tried thinner on the needle first. Didn't make any difference. Flow improver across the needle first and then refilling it. No, flow improver in the paint didn't work. It just this is on a 0.4 needle as well, so it's not like it was like too small. It's just that Rakoth flesh does not go well through an airbrush.
Yeah,
I think given that I am starting a Tyranid's army, I will look for a Vallejo Air paint. I love Rakoth flesh as a normal paint that you're painting with. So when it comes to like layering these back up to bring back some of that white flesh, it'll be brilliant. But just that initial base coat of it going through an airbrush, I think it's just a no. I'll get an equivalent paint. Although I might never touch Tyranids again after today. What do you think? What do you think I should do for my last hour?
Paint one thing and finish it.
I won't finish it.
Paint one gaunt and finish it in the next hour.
What, so from 12 hour, so from a 12-hour challenge I can turn around and go, here is a Termagaunt.
Yeah.
At
least you can enjoy the last hour.
No, because I'll just be remembering how long this has all taken.
Okay, so I suppose my argument would be totally depressed about the entire experience, or just enjoy one teeny tiny bit, less than 10% of the day.
I've enjoyed one thing about today.
Go on.
Painting with you.
Excellent.
It's always fun, and we watch film. Do you know how committed we were to this challenge as well? So when we did the Necrons,
my eyes are falling out.
Your eyes are falling out.
Yeah, my contact lenses are very dry. My eyes are falling out.
When we did the Necron challenge, we had a break for lunch. We had a nice Domino's dinner. Today, even not doing that, so we drove to the co-op up the road from me. So we were out for what? 25 minutes.
Yeah.
We then had a
dinner. That was the fastest I've ever eaten a pizza for dinner.
It wasn't even a Domino's pizza. We got a 6-minute pizza from Morrison's and destroyed it.
I wolfed it in 5 minutes and I just got straight
we've
back
not
on it.
really done what we did last time and had a break.
Very conscious of time though. Can I finish my miniatures?
I'm going to call it now. No. To be fair,
you don't think I'm going to finish those? Get in the bin. We're done. We're done.
Well, you'll join us in our wrap-up video where I have still not painted anything. Okay. So we are at the end of our challenge. We'll do a proper wrap-up in a minute.
What have you got?
After 12 hours, I have a whole lot of black base coats.
It's just so much, isn't it?
Yeah. So I spent the last hour doing the prime.
Yeah, that blue really looks sick as well.
Just trying to prove out. It looks really, really like electric blue under this light, but it is a bit more blended into the black. So yeah. My 12 hours work, all I have to show is this.
It's all of it, to be fair. It's
slightly highlighted.
But to be fair, if you did all of the blue on all of those, they'd all look pretty phenomenal.
Instead, over here, we have some mostly completed white scars.
Yeah, I think I got about just under halfway, maybe. So like all the 5 Terminators are done, so they're like all done in Ebon Cashid colours. So I'm like really chuffed with those. Yeah, really pleased. The 5 Stern Guard are all done, so just waiting on the streak and grind to dry really so I can finish off the bases. No need for any OSL or any lenses because of the funky Heresy helmets, so that's kind of handy. Yeah, and then I started to put some...
So you painted the Dreadnought in 10 minutes?
Yeah, I had 10 minutes spare, so I dry brushed the off-white on it and then I chucked some really cool transfers on there, so like when I've got a bit of time I'll just shape those up and give them a bit of a trim, and then I added some red paneling, and then I started on these 2 characters. But to be fair, like I think the thing is with character models, like I could have rushed it, but
I think it would have been a real shame. I do
Yeah.
really like these, and I knew that I wasn't going to make it in time, so I'll be honest, I just gave up. So with the Stern Guard and with the Terminators done, like I've got the elite units out of the way, and I know that doing the Pyroblasters, is that what they're called?
Fire Blaster.
Yeah.
No, Inferno Squad.
Inferno Squad.
Something.
Let's call
Squad.
them that. Yeah, so like I know that the trim won't take them very long on these because they don't have the red trim, same as the Stern Guard, so it'll make them look a bit different as well, which I quite like. But yeah, no, chuffed overall. Yeah, pretty chuffed.
Okay.
So, to summarise,
Yeah. No,
you can't do it.
you can't.
Don't even try.
You can't do it. It's mental. You could if you like speed painted it and it all looked rubbish, but no.
Oh, then I think it depends on what colour. Like, you've gone with white, and white is notoriously a time sink.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time cleaning up. Like, the red trim on the white was a recipe for disaster. And you know what? For people that don't cheat, like I did with White Scars and like Streak and Grime and stuff, the people that do like clean White Scars,
More power to you.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it. It's so insane. But you know what? Hats off to you. I'm really chuffed with what we have. I think we were dumb to think we could do this.
I
in
mean,
12 hours.
I knew weeks ago that I was not when we planned to do this, and I was like, I'm going to do the 2.5. I was like, I'm not going to finish this.
It's so stupid.
And for weeks I've been saying to you, I won't get it done. And you're like, oh no, I think you'll get a good chunk done. But I was right.
Nah, mental, absolutely mental, isn't it? Ludicrous.
I've spent at the time. I spent my Saturday base coating black.
They just don't look fun.
The black
You were having a very bad time.
The black was, and the funny thing is now you look at it, it's like how did it take that long? But then when you're in it, but I guess the problem is because it's going against such bright, well, it's going against a semi-bright color.
Yeah.
You're just really anxious that you're going to get black on that color and then have to correct it.
Yeah, I suppose so. I think just to wrap up then, was there anything that you, from this, I think from what you've got, what are you really excited to paint?
I don't know if I am because it's been so hard.
But I think now, obviously, it's not the essence of the challenge anymore.
As you'll have seen, I am happy with how the blue is looking.
Yeah, I really like the Behemoth sort of tinge. It's almost like Behemoth and Leviathan had a baby.
Yeah,
It's very cool. I like it a lot. I think
the White Scars have turned out really cool. Classic, gribbly, grimdark-esque.
Wouldn't know it any other way, mate.
I was going to say, it's grimdark is your middle name.
Yeah, I really, really like them. I think, for me, the characters are going to be sweet. I think the Stern Guard are probably my favourite so far.
The Stern Guard were a big time sink for you, though.
They just took ages.
I think you spent most of the day painting
They just
those.
took ages. The Terminators were fun. I think I did those first because I knew I was going to get them done quickly. I think in retrospect, I should have done the Pyroblasters first.
I was going to say, you've not even touched them.
No, I think I totally forgot that I didn't need trim on them. I reckon I really could have done those quickly. Something else.
I think
in the essence of model count.
I think in retrospect, I think you could have done the Pyroblasters at the same time as the Stern Guard, and then just splintered that off.
I'll be honest. I saw what you were doing, and I was like, no,
that does not look fun. Base coating the same colour.
Like a horrible time. Yeah, obviously I saw what you were doing, and I heard what you were saying whilst you were doing it, and I was like, that's not inspirational. That's so depressing.
I wish I could go back to about 2:00 when it got to the halfway point, and I was still doing black, and I should have gone right. Okay, this isn't going to work. I'll base coat the last whatever unit I was at 2 o'clock, then move on to making them look good.
Maybe that's a nice conclusion then. Like, what would you have done differently today?
When I knew I was going to fail.
Like, result aside, what would you have done differently to maybe enjoy the challenge more?
Obviously, I didn't enjoy it, but I think I could have had a better end result. Been happy with the end result if about 2 o'clock I'd have gone, right, let's def this black and just work on a couple of units to try and get them to a similar level. I mean, the really depressing thing is I've only spent an hour doing the bit of painting that I enjoy fun, which is making things look cool, which was the blue and some small skin highlights on the Tyranid Prime.
I think the characters and the leapers are going to look phenomenal in that paint job.
I wish at 2 o'clock I went, right, let's knock off all of the chaff, let's work on the Screamer Killer, the Tyranid Prime and the Neurotyrant. And I don't think they would have been too far done, but I think I would have had...
Perhaps. I think our 10th edition video would have been released by now, as in like all of our hobby challenges and hobby promises, I suppose.
That would have been last week.
Last week. So you would have seen that Tyranids are on Kieran's to-do list. So this is obviously like a main bulk of it.
You say that, but as a Horde army, this is like, what, 300 points?
Yeah, I don't even know how many points that is.
No, don't take that as gospel. Actually, we can add that up because at the time of recording, we had the points yesterday.
We did, and what a good time that was. Well, maybe we'll do another video on that.
Maybe.
Nah.
Got a lot of Leviathan. We've got some Leviathan content.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, no, chuffed.
Let us know what you're doing.
Did you try to paint Leviathan in a day, or no? Maybe not, because
maybe you're a sensible human being.
Total idiot. But yeah,
let us know what your. Obviously, this video will come out when you've all hopefully got your boxes.
Yes.
It's, at the time of recording, it's just gone the pre-order for it. So hopefully
second week pre-order.
Yeah, well, not that it lasted long enough to be on a 2-week pre-order, but hopefully everybody managed. It seemed to go quite well in the UK anyway.
It seemed pretty good.
It went okay. I know in the US, I think it sold out a bit quicker, but hopefully everyone that wants one
got one.
Was able to get one. And please don't try and paint it in 12 hours. And
don't do it.
The funny thing, although we're saying in 12 hours, it's 24 hours in terms of effort. So in 24 hours, you could have one Tyranid done and.
Maybe that's a nice thing to add in the comments as well. Could we have done anything better? What would you have done? Or maybe you wouldn't have done it at all. How are you painting your Tyranids? How are you painting your Space Marines? Let us know in the comments, because it'll be cool to know. If you want some Space Marines or Tyranids of your own, not necessarily the Leviathan box, go check out our hobby workshop link in the link down there. That'd be really cool.
All of it goes back into the channel.
Yeah, I used the link the other day. Yeah, pretty good.
We could
came right back. I was like, that's me.
We're saving up for another camera.
Yeah. But yeah, super cool. Thanks so much for checking in. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like, give us a sub, and we'll see you next time. Cheers. Bye.
See ya.